Hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our first in-person award ceremony in 3 years, wonderful award ceremony. And it's exciting to be here and to be able to personally reward so many students for hard work and great accomplishments. So I'm excited. I hope you guys are as well. We do have quite a table full of awards to give out today, so we'll proceed through them quickly. But again, I will say the same thing I've said for 11 years. This is an opportunity for the school to thank students that have made their classrooms better and have made them more exciting, more vibrant. We appreciate the effort that every student puts in to their schoolwork here. But this is our opportunity to thank a few students for going above and beyond the call of duty, making the classroom a better environment for all students. And so I hope you guys will take a chance afterwards to congratulate the award winners and sort of kicking off our graduation week. And I hope to see all of you at graduation Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. So our first award is our Junior Scholar Athlete Award. Our athletic director, Blair Trail, will present that. So Blair.
Okay, the first award that I'm giving out today is the Junior Scholar Athlete Award. It's selected by the Willis Hall faculty, and this award goes to 2 juniors, 1 male and 1 female, who have distinguished themselves as scholars and athletes. This year's winners are leaders in the classroom, hardworking, earnest, and dedicated to their studies and their respective sports. Our female recipient is Alexis Teeter. Alexis is a 3-sport athlete. She participates in cross country, basketball, and soccer. She is currently playing AAU basketball. She was second team all-conference in both varsity girls basketball and girls varsity soccer. Alexis participated in Model UN, currently takes 3 APs, and has earned all A's this school year. Alexis Teeter. Our male recipient is Chase Daniel. Chase is a 2-sport athlete, football and track and field. He made first team all-conference and all-state in football. He enjoys competitive horseback riding. Chase has a stellar GPA and takes 7 APs. Chase Daniel. The next award that I'll be giving out is the B'nai B'rith Athletic and Achievement Awards. Selected by the Willis Hall faculty to represent North Cross in the Roanoke Valley-wide B'nai B'rith Athletic Achievement Competition. This award goes to 2 seniors, 1 female and 1 male, for outstanding achievement in athletics, academics, and community service. This year's female winner is Adoria Sanders. As a soccer player, Adoria has made first team all-conference as a junior and a senior, first team all-state as a senior. She was the recipient of the Mark Higgins Award. She plays year-round travel soccer. Adoria just completed taking 4 APs this school year, and she will attend Eckerd College in the fall and play soccer. Adoria Sanders. This year's male winner is Spencer Brown. Spencer earned Conference Player of the Year in soccer, as well as State Player of the Year both sophomore and senior years. He is a VISA 3-sport senior athlete. Spencer currently takes 4 APs and is actively involved in the SCA. Spencer will attend Roanoke College and play soccer. And the last award that I'll be giving is the Spirit Award. Every year, the athletic department presents the Spirit Award to a graduating senior, and the award reads as follows. The Spirit Award is presented to the senior boy or girl who has exhibited throughout his or her career at North Cross School an unselfish enthusiasm for the support and development of North Cross School athletics. The award further signifies that the recipient embodies the spirit and character North Cross School would like to develop in each individual. While athletic participation is deemed an indication of interest, the award is not for athletic excellence or success, but it is given in recognition of interest, enthusiasm, support, character, sportsmanship, and spirit and tangible qualities which contribute to the making of a complete young man or woman. This year's recipient is Reese Wade. And now Mrs. Jackson will give the Studio Art Award.
Bear with me a little bit, I have a whole binder of awards. But I get to start with the Studio Art Award. Art has always been an integral part of life for this year's Studio Art Award recipient. In fact, in her DeHart speech, she shared that she was creating before she was walking. In the 4 years Meade Greer has been in the Upper School Art Studio, she and her work have evolved immensely. Some of her best characteristics are that she is stubborn and tenacious. And this is part of the reason she has overcome inevitable artistic hurdles so well. She is determined to create. It is one thing to strengthen technical skill, but to find something to say through one's art is no easy task. In Meade's words, she says, "I feel that I've developed as an artist because at the beginning, I only knew how to copy artwork. However, I'm proud to say that I'm now able to come up with my own unique ideas." After bouncing around a few possibilities for her AP portfolio, but struggling to connect them to something larger, she landed on exploring dyslexia through her art. This project truly defined Meade's growth. She experimented and explored. One idea brought another idea. She worked many extra hours in the studio. She delved eagerly into research about artists. She talked about interrupting family dinners to jot down ideas before she forgot them. She delved deeply into her topic and stretched its possibilities far and wide, working with photography, collage, ceramics, mixed media, block printing, spray paint, collaborations, and more. In short, she became a practicing artist, and she made connections between her ideas and the visual representations in ways far beyond her years. This whole year has been a beautiful synthesis of Meade's personal interests and experiences expressed through research in her DeHart project and artistically in her AP sustained investigation. What a great culmination of Meade's academic and artistic career thus far, and a fantastic example for the school community. I should also mention that Meade's efforts are not confined to the school day. Many of you already know she is entrepreneurial. She has an Etsy shop and goes to craft events with her business called Tiny Southern, where she sells her own designs for stickers, scrunchies, and polymer clay jewelry. She's made furniture and painted murals. You should definitely check out her shop. This long list of examples and accolades is to demonstrate how Meade Greer lives and breathes all things art. We wish her the very best as she starts the next leg of her artistic journey at Virginia Commonwealth University, where she plans to combine many of her interests with a major in interior design and a minor in entrepreneurship. It is my great pleasure to present Meade Greer with the 2022 Studio Art Award. Next, the Graphic Design Award. This award goes to a student who has exhibited excellence in graphic design and commitment to the graphic arts. This student has only formally participated in graphic design for 2 years, but her passion, drive, and skill are unmatched. She is a natural designer, always effortlessly juggling a variety of elements in her pieces, while still taking the time to organize layouts that are both meaningful and beautiful. She frequently seeks out new techniques to experiment with, and she is always ready to learn new tips and tricks to expand her skill set. She will eagerly take on any project, from class assignments to extra designs for the school, with the same exuberance. When she is excited about a design, it is impossible not to share her enthusiasm. Notably this year, she designed both the Sadie Hawkins dance ticket for SCA and Instagram highlight icons for Media Club. She is well on her way to mastering all aspects of design, technical, psychological, and creative. Her portfolio is already impressive, and her love for design is evident in her work. I look forward to seeing what she creates during her senior year. On behalf of Mrs. Sled and the Graphic Arts at North Cross, I'm thrilled to present this year's Graphic Design Award to Grayson Ratliff. The Choral Music Award this year goes to a student who has been singing in choir since 4th grade. Amaria has built upon her natural musical aptitude to become a proficient choral musician and performer. Her intellect and work ethic have given her the necessary skills to tackle difficult music in choir and perform taxing roles in the musicals. Amaria has auditioned and performed at all district choir events and has been in the cast of 8 musicals in her time at North Cross. Amaria has a beautiful soprano voice with exceptional intonation. When she learns a piece of music or a role, she doesn't just learn the notes, she embodies the text for the role that she is playing through her colorful vocal expression and style and her energetic performance. Since beginning at North Cross in kindergarten, Amaria has excelled academically and impressed her teachers with her intellectual determination and uplifting spirit. Amaria is an exceptional young woman. She is kind and always willing to offer help to her friends and teachers. She works diligently at everything she sets her mind to. Ms. Capolero is extremely proud of and impressed by Amaria and knows that she will achieve great things in the years to come as she attends Virginia Commonwealth University to pursue a pre-med track of study. On behalf of Ms. Capolero and the North Cross Choral Program, it is with great pleasure to present this year's Choral Music Award to Amaria Ford. Lastly, I have the good fortune of sharing remarks from Ms. Denemy for the Instrumental Music Award. This year's recipient is known for his strong sense of respect for teachers, school, and community. Ms. Denemy refers to him as studious, cooperative, humorous, and she always appreciated that he walked in the door with a friendly smile and a, "Hey, Ms. Denemy." This instrumentalist started in the 6th grade, and he took private lessons after school so he could get caught up from missing 4th and 5th grade band. And from the beginning, he wanted to make sure the low brass section was heard. He was not interested in highlighting the other sections. It was all about the low brass. Connor pursued his interest in playing the trombone outside of school by auditioning and placing in the all-district band in middle and high school. This challenging extra practice and very memorable experience gave him the confidence to play out more within our ensembles, as well as open his eyes and ears to other pieces of band literature that he wanted to play. Ms. Denemy enjoyed working with him on music that he played at his church and was proud of the leadership he showed with other musicians there. She remembers working with him on his prepare piece for the Roanoke Youth Symphony auditions and was so proud of him for making this prestigious ensemble. Ms. Deneny has stated many times in class over the years, as well as in his comments each term, that Connor has beautiful tone, strong rhythmic skills, excellent range, and a nice sense of musicality. She relied upon him to carry the first trombone parts in a symphonic band repertoire, and he did it with great confidence and satisfaction. Connor Irwin has been an asset to our music department at North Cross School, and he will be extremely missed next year. We wish him the very best at the University of Virginia, and Ms. Deneny feels adamant that their music department will want a talented trombonist like Connor in any one of their bands. This year's Instrumental Music Award goes to Connor Irwin. And next, Next, Mrs. Jones will come up for drama and English awards.
The Drama Award is presented to a student who has made a significant contribution to the drama program. The recipient of this year's award has certainly done that. First taking part in North Cross Theater with Fishburne Follies, she mastered the organizational and people skills needed to keep the show moving from backstage. It was very clear, however, that she also had a keen understanding of everything that was happening on stage as well. With a bit of encouragement, she auditioned for a role in Clue and took the stage as the delightfully French accented Yvette. Another year, another stage, and another accent, this time Swedish, as Greta Olson in Murder on the Orient Express, recorded and performed virtually. We didn't ask her to speak Greek, but this winter, she successfully took on the challenging role of Helena in Shakespeare's Midsummer Night's Dream. Through all of this, she has not lost her dedication to supporting performances in the crew as well, working notably as stage manager in Little Shop of Horrors. She has also served this year as president of our International Festival Society Troupe. I am delighted to present this year's Drama Award to Phoebe Anderson. A passion for literature is evidence of a passion for life. It is a passion which embraces our own reality and reaches out to understand the realities of people often quite different from ourselves. The recipient of this year's English Award clearly possesses this passion. Not only is she a leader in study and discussion of literary works assigned in English classes, but also is an avid independent reader. This broad experience with many stories and novels has helped her to develop a keen sense of what an author is about, what a character's motivations are, how that moves the plot forward. This sophisticated insight is often evident in both her written work and in contributions to class discussions. Her responses frequently go beyond the right or expected answer, often with an idea that the teacher had not even thought of before. This year in AP English Language, this student has proven herself to be astute in rhetoric as well as in literature. The high art of gifted writers is not lost on her, and she herself is a gifted writer. Putting together strategies she has learned throughout her school years, she writes essays that shine. The English department is delighted to present this year's English Award to Katie Coleman. And now Dr. Katie will present the World Language Awards.
Right. It's my pleasure to present 3 awards: the French, the Latin, and the Spanish award. The French award will be read by me, but the words are Mr. Flanders. Reflecting on this year's French award winner is a happy occasion. The student transferred to North Cross in 10th grade and made it a point to stop by during the beginning of the year open house to make sure I understood her level of interest in French. From that point on, I've come to look forward to the humor, fun drawings to accompany our readings, and engagement she brings to our classroom. When we did a unit on Les Miserables, I watched her come alive and lead her classmates with enthusiasm. Her comic reenactment of Tristan and Isolde left our class rolling with laughter. Not only does she do stellar work in French class, but it's clear that she has fun along the way. It is with great joy that I name Phoebe Anderson, the 2021-2022 French Award winner. Félicitations, mademoiselle. We're all very proud of you. Now for the Latin Award. Start spreading the news. With a great deal of pleasure, I present this year's Latin Award to Grayson Boone. Grayson is part of a cohort of students who began their study of Latin in the 7th grade. In the early portion of his Latin career, Grayson sometimes did not feel confident about his ability. However, over the years, his ability to see the Latin we deal with as literature increased, along with his self-confidence and resilience. In short, while taking Latin, Grayson has been up and down and over and out. But if he found himself flat on his face, he picked himself up and got back in the race. As you might suspect, Grayson, the book you are about to receive is not about Latin or Romans or Italy, and you can probably guess what it is about. It represents a job well done, and it is the best Latin award you will receive all day. Come on up. And now for the Spanish award. I will read it, but the words are Dr. Cypher's. When thinking about who should receive the Spanish award this year, I concluded this student stood out not just for her exemplary use of the language, but also for her perspicacity. Though she may not be the first to speak up in class, I can always count on her to make insightful comments and her presentations dig deep, showing great analytical skills and cultural understanding. She uses Spanish beautifully both in her writing and speech, with an excellent range of vocabulary and grammatical structures. From her earlier Spanish classes, Ms. Phillips remembers her great leadership skills and grace when working with others, while occasionally throwing some shade, both traits that have continued into AP Spanish this year. It has been a pleasure to have her in class, and an even greater pleasure to give the 2022 Spanish Award to Katie Coleman. And now Dr. Koss will present the calculus and mathematics awards.
Good morning. The math department presents 2 awards each year. The first is the Calculus Award, and this is given to a student taking their first calculus course at North Cross, who has demonstrated an exceptional level of aptitude and interest in calculus and dedication to understanding it fully. Illustrating why this year's recipient deserves the award requires a little bit of insider calculus talk, so I do apologize. But if you've studied calculus, you might remember when we were first getting introduced to it, a point when things got a lot harder. It's when the chain rule makes its first appearance, and then you start learning all of the applications of that. And in AP Calculus AB, this usually occurs right around the end of the fall term, which means the winter term is when things get really hard. Nevertheless, the recipient of this year's Calculus Award achieved the highest possible level of performance during the winter, earning perfect quiz and test scores across the board, being an active participant in class, and displaying a great deal of care and attention to detail in her homework. It's a remarkable achievement. The math department is proud to recognize it and to recognize this student's outstanding work in calculus throughout the year. Maria Krotov, congratulations. The other award the math department presents is aptly the Mathematics Award. This is given to a senior who has taken the most advanced math courses offered at North Cross, while displaying again outstanding commitment and enthusiasm for this subject across their time taking these courses. The recipient of this year's award has done all of those things, but has gone further by doing something that is unprecedented at North Cross. Having never studied calculus before, she accepted our invitation to take our second-year calculus course, AP Calculus BC, as her introduction to the subject. This was a challenge, and she met it admirably. to say nothing of her first grade work in her earlier math courses. And she did this also, although this isn't central to the award, while pursuing a rigorous academic schedule across the board, completing the challenging requirements of our STEM distinction program, playing some sports, the list could go on and on. This is a trailblazing achievement, and we are very, very proud to recognize Sam Bauer as the I'll hand things off to Ms. Landry for the science course.
The physics, chemistry, and biology awards are given to the student in each subject who demonstrates academic excellence, outstanding interest, and are motivated to share their knowledge with other students. Begin with the physics award. In the words of Dr. Nagy, AP Physics 1 has the lowest exam pass rate of all AP courses at 51.6%. It also has the lowest percentage of perfect scores at only 8.8% of students scoring a perfect 5 on the exam. The class is no joke. AP Physics demands a complete mastery of mathematical skills, including trigonometry, vector arithmetic, quadratic equations, solving systems of equations, graphing polynomials, and solving inequalities. And that's just to get things started. We spend the year developing our problem-solving skills and learning to dissect complex word problems to pick out every single variable, converted to the correct units, of course, before selecting the relevant equations that will give us our unknown quantity. Even more difficult sometimes, we are given no numbers at all and asked to derive brand new equations with multivariables in them. We leave numbers behind and do math with letters. The winner of this year's physics award started out strong in this demanding class and continued to impress me throughout the year. This student improved every single trimester, going from a 97% in the fall to a 97.58% in the winter and ending with a 98.88% average in spring. They rarely scored less than perfect on quizzes and tests, which is incredibly impressive considering how notoriously difficult AP style physics questions can be. This person scored above the class average on every single test and quiz this year. In one case, they scored a perfect 100% on a quiz on energy and momentum, while the class average was a 62.5%. They also achieved 100% on the midterm exam, which for the class average was a 67.8%. I would often grade the students' quizzes before everyone else's just to double check that I hadn't made a mistake on my answer key. This student was always laser focused in class and has the ability to synthesize brand new information on the spot and then turn around and immediately apply it in novel ways to solve new problems. This is a very rare skill, and it requires tenacity to stick to the problem as well as a great deal of creativity to reconfigure the equations to fit new problems. They also have a wonderful work ethic, a great attitude, and mad skills on the mic, as I learned when I helped record a rap song for Spanish class. Attilio Chikosi is not only a phenomenal student, but also a gifted teacher. On multiple occasions, I heard him explaining how to work problems to his friends in class. He explained them clearly, giving his peers a chance to chime in with answers along the way. He guided them to a solution without being the least bit patronizing. Aristotle is quoted as saying, "Teaching is the highest form of understanding." This saying rings true for Attilio. Attilio is not just a physics nerd, however. In addition to getting his highest grade in my class, he's also a dominant force in all his other academic classes. Played on 2 championship sports teams in the spring trimester alone, and competed on the robotics team and coding club, and led the 10th grade class as president of the SCA. I am very proud of Attilio and I'm excited to see what he does next. Congratulations, Attilio. Right. Now for the chemistry award. In my words. So I didn't really think about this until about a week ago when I was writing this, but this is my 20th year teaching chemistry. It's my 17th year here at North Cross, but my 20th year altogether teaching chemistry. It has been a while since I have been challenged intellectually in a chemistry course. Actually, maybe it's been since I taught the student's older brother. Students, while I know it sometimes has felt like you were the only one to ever ask this question, I can assure you that 99 out of 100 times I've heard the question before. So do I have to convert to Kelvin when using gas laws? Yes, yes, we do. This is a tough one, many years, but why does a beaker in which an endothermic reaction is occurring, why does it feel cold when endothermic means absorbing heat? Well, the way I've explained it multiple times before is because the reaction is the system. The beaker in your hand are the surroundings, and where is the reaction taking the heat from? Your hand. So what happens to your hand? It feels cold. Answering these questions is what teaching is all about. And I will always love that part of my job. But I have to say, having a year where I get questions that I haven't heard before and couldn't predict gave this year a touch of excitement for me. When Colin came into class each day, I braced for that day's challenge. It has been a year since I've had to say, that's a good question, let me get back to you on that one. I will need to look into that for you. And it's both humbling and exciting. So yes, Colin earned nearly perfect scores on all of the assessments this year in AP Chemistry. And yes, Colin was the first student we've ever had to skip first year chemistry and go directly to AP Chemistry. But those are just reasons that I can use to justify the Chemistry Award recipient. In my heart, Colin Shandell earns this year's Chemistry Award for giving me a year full of fun challenges. This year's Chemistry Award goes to Colin Shandell. Great, the Biology Award. In the words of Mrs. Dickinson, Oxford Dictionaries defines the term outlier as a person or thing differing from all other members of the group or set. In biology, outliers can sometimes be seen as highly adaptive individuals, those who stand out. Outliers have personalities that make them different from those in their class. They're the ones who go the extra mile, work the hardest, or have a natural innate talent that they develop. In the words of Malcolm Gladwell, outliers are those who've been given opportunities and who have the strength and presence of mind to seize them. Connor Irwin is an example of an outlier. He loves science and all things STEM. He's always prepared for each new academic challenge, and with a joyful spirit will draw on the whiteboard in class his interpretations of the material we are covering to better understand it. He is a witty and gifted student whose academic talents go beyond my daily biology lessons. His impressive resume of science and math classes speak for themselves. He is attentive to detail and has a strong desire to perform at his best on each lab and assessment. Connor Irwin is one of those special students who reminds me why I love standing in front of class each day teaching biology, and I will miss him greatly next year. Proud to present the Biology Award to Connor Irwin. And now for the Science Award. I really struggled this year in deciding who would receive this award. There is more than one student who not only took, but excelled in all 3 AP Science courses. Please know each and every one of you is amazing and worthy, but I had to choose one, so here we go. In the words of Claude Lévi-Strauss, a French anthropologist, the scientist is not a person who gives the right answers, he's the one who asks the right questions. Science is about the whys. Why is the sky blue? Why did the dinosaurs die off? And it's about the what's. What's at the bottom of the ocean, or what's inside a black hole? Science is about the hows. How do we cure cancer? How do we design a robot to pick up a ball? Or in the case of this year's Science Award winner, how do we make an image classification program with a convolutional neural network? Edward Ma has spent the past 4 years asking questions and excelling in his science courses here at North Cross. Those courses included conceptual physics in the 9th grade, honors chemistry and AP physics in the 10th grade, AP chemistry in the 11th grade, and AP biology in the 12th grade. Speaking from experience, when he was in AP chemistry, Edward asked questions on a daily basis. Most of the times, those questions pertained to chemistry, and often he wanted to understand things at a deeper level than the AP even covered. But sometimes those questions were about his English and whether or not what he had written would be acceptable to the College Board. Those are the moments that I realized that Edward was not only acing what he was in AP chemistry, arguably the hardest AP course here, but he was doing it in a second language. In that second language, he earned top scores on almost every test that year. Edward will continue his STEM education next year at UVA. It is my absolute pleasure to present the 2022 Science Award to Edward Hall. And now Mr. DeMarco for the history award.
It is my pleasure to award the History Award this year to a young lady who I have known for 4 years now, when we both started as first years in the upper school together. She is a quiet yet diligent student who always impressed me with her determination and the quality of her work in my classes. She made for such a wonderful addition to our community as an international student, and I know that she will do the same when she goes to Davidson next year. I thank her for being an excellent student and for all of her hard work in all of our history classes. It is my pleasure to award this year's History Award to Alice Smith. Congratulations. Now for Mr. Roloff.
Well, the Journalism Award goes to the person who made the biggest contribution to the success of the Willis Hall Herald and GeoPrism, or Global Studies Journal. That usually means it goes to one of the editors, goes beyond simply writing articles. It goes to a leader. And the journalism program requires substantial leadership. This is well known. So that when student journalists apply to colleges, they recognize that being an editor is being a leader. Being an editor helped students like Toby and Chloe get into schools like Stanford and Penn. This year, there was a student who became that kind of leader. She said that her parents taught her to be a leader. She asked probing questions of adults and students alike. She helped other staffers overcome their fears of interviewing. She learned to write great profiles that revealed fascinating personalities of you students and the faculty behind them. She also added dynamic graphic design to her front pages and centerfolds. She even brought in the only paid advertisement we got this year. The senior issue that comes out today or tomorrow would not have happened without her great efforts. The Journalism Award goes to Grayson Matthew.
The Yearbook Award goes to the student who has contributed most significantly to the production of the yearbook this year. I am no stranger to having given awards, I also give the Graphic Design Award. But I want to say that having to choose a member of a yearbook staff is an entirely different prospect. There was no one person who did everything. The entire staff depended on one another and worked together to reach their goals. Every single student contributed, and I could come up with a reason why almost every single one of them deserves this award. For example, Jack Romano jumped fearlessly into photography mid-year, taking every opportunity to practice his newfound skill. Despite being new to the school, Maria conducted almost every single interview in our book, and she did so with the poise and professionalism of a natural reporter. Ashton Cornett can process and act on instructions with speed and accuracy, a crucial skill in the yearbook room and one that saved my sanity some days. Natalie needs no follow-ups or reminders. Give her a one-sentence instruction and a week later, she has a fully fledged spread with pictures and interviews and an entirely custom yet uniform design scheme. Danny took on literally anything thrown his way with laser focus and a commitment to always complete his tasks to the very best of his ability. Reagan Nye was the glue that held us all together. Her few absences from class were palpable and the entire staff was less productive. Sebastian is a true veteran in the yearbook room, helping others with an air of calm reassurance. Diana, our incredible senior editor, was the catalyst for our amazingly creative theme and style this year. I literally could keep going on and on for hours if we had the time, about Denzel and Lydia and Will and Danya and Paul. I cannot say enough amazing things about this staff. They only give me one award to hand out though, so I decided that the most equitable way to handle it would be to allow each member of the staff to submit one anonymous nomination for consideration. It only made sense that the people who have been in the room all year and have seen the work firsthand be a part of this decision-making process. When I looked at the results of this process, I was unsurprised. A total of 6 different students received nominations, with one student receiving a clear majority, with almost 60% of the nominations. Ansley Ayers poured her heart and her study halls into this book. One of our main goals for the book was to add in more illustration elements, particularly given our Dr. Seuss theme. And I think that she took this as a personal challenge. Whatever we asked her for, she created, even if that meant working on her own time a lot of the time. She designed the back cover of the book and almost every single illustration inside. I should also mention that Ansley was an introduction to graphic design this year. So she was still learning skills in one class as she took on projects in another class to put those brand new skills to use. Every year and every yearbook theme is different and showcases different skills. And this year's theme truly allowed Ansley to shine. She is an incredible student and a fantastic designer. And I'm so glad to have her as a part of our community. I think it is telling that her classmates so clearly recognized her work and support in their nominations. On behalf of the Compass Yearbook staff, I'm thrilled to present this year's Yearbook Award to Ansley Ayers. And now Mr. Marco will set it for us.
Me again. All right, this year we have 8 students who completed the rigorous requirements to earn this prestigious distinction by not only completing a slate of difficult academic courses in subjects like social studies and foreign languages, but also by participating in many Model UNs, tutoring refugee students, tasting different ethnic foods at various restaurants in the Roanoke Valley, and volunteering for local organizations. Most importantly, as part of their global studies education and experiences, this group also traveled to many countries. Between them, they have traveled to Costa Rica, Mexico, Argentina, Spain, Israel, France, the United Kingdom, Japan, and China. But before we celebrate these 8 seniors who earned this prestigious distinction, I would like to ask Connor Irwin to come to the podium as this year's Global Studies Distinguished Scholar and Speaker.
There was always a beginning, and day one of my passion for global studies began with Miss Laude's compared history class. It takes a gifted teacher to spark a passion in a student, and she created the initial interest in learning more about history and the world, which is why I'm standing here today. We are blessed here at North Cross to have a strong global studies program, which has taught us how to be more culturally, geographically, and politically aware. The global studies program is the difference maker in elevating our learning to the next level here at North Cross, which is a part of why our school is so unique. My global studies career in high school began in Mr. DeMarco's Intro to Global Studies class during his first year here at North Cross. His way of teaching is interactive, fun, and yet challenging, which creates an environment where students can thrive. I don't think a single peer in my class doesn't remember his Xenon religion. This class set the foundation to build upon in becoming a global studies scholar. Continuing to my sophomore year, I took on the challenge of undertaking Mr. Lamas' AP World History class as my first AP. When I think of Mr. Lamas, I think of passion. The intensity he brings to the subject matter inspired me not only to learn what he was teaching, but maybe want to learn more about the world. He recognized my enthusiasm and went so far as to recommend movies, documentaries, and books outside of what we were learning in the classroom. Mr. Lamas is the type of teacher you want to do well for, not just for yourself, but for him too, because of how much he cares about you. Ms. Laude is the person who sparked my interest. Mr. Lamas is the person who elevated my passion. But when I look at the influencer who was the keystone in my global studies career, it is Mr. DeMarco. One of the greatest aspects of North Cross is the bond you can develop with your teachers and having the opportunity to have them for more than 1 year. It's one thing to have a good teacher for 1 year, and it's another thing to have a great teacher for 3 years. And Mr. DeMarco was just that. Taking his classes in AP US History and AP Comparative Government is what truly matured my critical thinking. Becoming a global studies scholar is much more than just memorizing dates and cultures. It is developing a thought process, questioning the whys, and understanding the hows. In his classes, we had discussions and debates on current events to help us come out of our comfort zone and truly think from other perspectives. Some of my most memorable memories with this program include visiting Cancun, Mexico to tour ancient Mayan ruins and driving 10 hours to New Jersey in a snowstorm on Old North Cross bus Model UN. Cinderella remembers that one. These experiences gave me a deeper understanding of international politics and cultures and are exactly what global studies is all about. As being a global studies scholar is much more than just taking classes, but it also involves participating in off and on campus lectures, international events, and traveling abroad. I'm truly grateful to North Cross and all the faculty for making this program possible. If there's one thing to take away from this, it is to open your mind to new possibilities and opportunities. Travel the world, get out of your comfort zone, and be open to other viewpoints. My time with this program has been valuable, and I wouldn't trade it for anything else. Being a global studies scholar doesn't mark an end, but a beginning to a lifelong journey to keep on learning. Thank you.
All right, so now we will recognize the 8 Global Studies Scholars this year. When I call your name, please come up to the podium and receive your award from Mr. Valeris. So first up is Isabel Blackshaw. Connor Irwin. Francis Ash. Thanks. Reagan Harlan. Remy Luss. And now, Mr. Valeris, your son.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
There it is. This is fun. Thank you all for being here so much. The Computer Science Award. Awarded to the student who has taken the most challenging computer science classes offered and has not only excelled in those courses, but has been willing to share his or her knowledge with and encourage students who are studying computer science. In a word, consistent. Colin Chandel is consistent in all things computers. Whether it's Java, Python, or the next program, he truly is a computer scientist. This year's Computer Science Award recipient, Colin Chandel. At this time, I'd like to invite Mrs. Landry.
In order to earn a STEM certificate, students have to earn a B or higher in the following courses: at least 2 out of our 3 AP Science courses, in AP Calculus AB, in Introduction to Computer Science, and either Advanced or AP Computer Science. They also have to complete a STEM-related capstone project that culminated in a speech and a written paper. Finally, students have to earn an additional 400 points beyond their capstone by participating in activities such as coding club, robotics team, STEM speakers, and more. We are so proud of our 2022 class of STEM seniors. Before we celebrate the 3 seniors earning the STEM distinction this year, I would like to introduce this year's STEM speaker to the podium, Edward Monk.
In emergency situations, one may utilize their potential and complete things that may not be completed in their normal circumstances. But regarding STEM, it is not always true. Everything can be addressed with reading STEM. Every result in STEM field can improve step by step from fundamental rules in areas which we call scientific laws and axioms. Missing the knowledge of a key proof, scientific laws, or axioms may forever prevent a person from solving a problem. These proofs are always precise and delicate too. A small mistake in any step result in a completely different answer. The logic and precision required for the STEM field might be attractive and irritating for some people, but for the others, it is beautiful. There's such beauty that drew me to STEM during 6th grade while I was still in China. I was learning about proving congruent triangles. The proofs were complicated, sometimes requiring to rotate certain parts of the graph just to prove 2 angles at the same degree. The method of proving sometimes was unexpected too. By just adding an extra line to the graph, 2 angles can suddenly be proven equal. This is like magic for me in 6th grade. And now, with much more mathematical skills, it still feels like magic. But these proofs were always organized. Each further steps were driven from either the step before, the theorem, or the axiom, which enabled me to understand or even utilize such magic. During 7th grade, I received a book talking about the history of math, physics, biology, and chemistry. Since then, looking for names I already know provides some extra entertainment in the science classes. Plenty has been fulfilled when the teacher mentioned a new name and the whole class was confused, but my brain told me that I know that guy. The journey of the name elected continued after I transferred to North Cross in the 8th grade. 4 has collected during 8th grade in Miss Brazil class, learning the structure of atoms. In Dr. Natney and Dr. Dudek's physics and AP physics, the names selected were always in form of units such as Hertz, Watt, Newton, and Joule. In Miss Andrews' chemistry class, the Marie Curie and Aristotle were collected. In biology, Mendel, Darwin, Wallace have been added to the collection. In Mr. Alpha, Dr. Cost, and Dr. Natney's math class, Pythagoras, Fibonacci have been spotted. There are new names as well. The names back on this computer science class, De Morgan's law, kept the whole class struggle for 2 weeks. Even to this day, mentioning De Morgan still gives me a headache. The various courses in different areas of STEM at school gave me a solid foundation of knowledge. But connecting knowledge with real life is another thing. North Cross provides plenty of extracurricular activities for us to expand our interest and practice our skills, such as speakers, clubs, and competitions. To earn a STEM certificate, the student must earn 500 points. You can earn points by joining those extracurricular activities, but the most important activity is the capstone project, which scores 100 points. There's a reason for it. The capstone project provides an opportunity for students to research on a topic they are interested in and expose it to formal academic research and its necessary skills. With the fact that projects always requires experimentation, it is impossible to finish one project within a short period of time. Time management is thus important to finish the project. From my own experience, pushing almost everything till the last month will provide a pleasant memory. My project is to create a picture recognition program, classes that school do not provide such information. With suggestions from Ms. Magnani, I spent a summer learning Python and researched picture recognition for weeks before actually starting the program. This kind of experience in processing information started to get in the class. With the projects, when the project was finished, I had a much deeper understanding of picture recognition. Of course, the process of learning is an important part of the capstone project. However, nothing can compare to the fulfillment after creating a functional picture recognition program. Sometimes I feel like magic, or something I feel like magic before I started the project. But this is the beauty of STEM, using reasons to create magic. Finally, on this, I wanted to end my speech with thanking all faculty for providing professional advice whenever I needed help, the school administration for organizing these interesting activities, and my parents and friends who are always supporting me. Without them, I wouldn't have the same knowledge and skill I have today, and also wouldn't have such a knowledge to present here today. Thank you.
Right. So today our STEM seniors will be receiving a bound copy of this year's capstone projects. An additional copy will be kept in the library and the archives. This year's capstone projects. In the field of computer science, we had Making Image Classification Program and Convolutional Neural Network by Edward Mom. In the field of science, the effect of changing ratio of clay and sawdust in a ceramic filter by Connor Irwin. And in the field of engineering, Power Wheels Modification by Samantha Bauer. Congratulations to our incredibly hardworking STEM students. And now Mrs. Jackson for the Fine Arts Distinction.
Through coursework, outside of school activities and experiences, and real-world exhibits and performances, students pursuing the Fine Arts distinction work to hone their craft, whether in the studio or on the stage. The program encourages students to strive toward the highest levels of skill, achievement, and creativity, to see connections between themselves, the arts, and the greater world, and to be a part of a community of actors, artists, and musicians at North Cross, in the Roanoke Valley, and beyond. Students work toward the Fine Arts distinction throughout their years in upper school. Coursework, activities related to fine arts initiatives, and outside seminars and performances all count toward the goal. There are 4 additional required elements: summer reading, a substantial arts-related connection to the DeHart Project, the completion of a senior performance or exhibit with original work, and a comprehensive program self-reflection. It is my pleasure to introduce Shayla Kyle as the Fine Arts Distinction Speaker.
A while ago, when I was approached to talk about my involvement in the Fine Arts Distinction Program, it felt like both a surprise and a pretty easy question. Firstly, a surprise, since there are so many wonderful artists in this program, and also kind of a no-brainer, since I've been into creating things ever since I could walk. If you know remotely anything about me, you know that taking this extra step was a given. So why did I choose to pursue the Fine Arts Distinction? Creating. I like making things. Seriously speaking, I found that no matter where I turn, art seems to be the thing I occupy myself with. If I'm not making digital art or sketching in my notebook, I'm producing music. If I get tired of splicing together beats and writing lyrics, maybe I'll shoot a photo shoot for the album cover.
Not to mention every time a theater opportunity is announced at our school, I'm already signing up for auditions. I've even spent part of last summer working on a production with Virginia Children's Theater. Continue the cycle of creation, screenwriting, video editing, makeup, fashion, and you've got the recipe to make my ultimate passion. Honestly, I find there's nothing more satisfying than seeing something you've created transform into something more. The Fine Arts Distinction Program not only gives you free rein into pursuing your favorite medium of art, but it also shows you how those mediums can overlap in your own work and other students' work. This distinction not only covers drawing, painting, and other studio art, but also gives opportunities to band, theater, choir, and dance, among others. This distinction has introduced me to people in the school that I may not have connected with otherwise, and has given me great insight into the inner art scene at Northwest. Learning how to do critiques and attending outside events has widened my abilities and appreciation for the arts locally and as a whole. Supporting artists and promoting creativity is one of the most important things to me. Through the Fine Arts Distinction, I've been able to support our band, choir, and theater students in their showcases. Plus, I got to do workshops with local artists like Kevin Beck and the one and only Tom Teasley. Through Ms. Jackson, the upper school art teacher and head of the program, I've created many projects through mediums and methods I would have never tried. I've also been pushed to never give up on pieces I casted aside as bad or ruined. Sometimes you just need to take a break from it. Her support and dedication throughout the years, especially through this program, has always placed creativity and desire at the forefront. She makes sure that students have the opportunity to put into action whatever idea they have, no matter how obscure the baseline is. That freedom is so important to me as a creative and as a person. Simply put, I like art and want to do everything involved with it here. This wide scope of creation and the results behind it are what keep me coming back. Plus, it's fun. You are never bored if you surround yourself with art. If you want to explore different areas of art and connect with other creatives, I highly recommend giving the distinction a chance. Congratulations to all my fellow Fine Arts Distinction graduates. Thank you.
This year's recipients in alphabetical order are Phoebe Anderson, whose artistic endeavors range from the art studio to the stage and backstage of the theater to creative writing. She will attend Davidson College next year, where she hopes to incorporate theater and studio art in her studies. Neve Breeder, who concentrated on studio art in upper school, took graphic design, and also spent time working backstage in several theater productions. She will integrate many of her artistic interests next year as an interior design major at Virginia Commonwealth University. Shayla Powell, who focused on studio art, is the only Northcross student to complete 2 different AP Art studio art portfolios. She added graphic design and film studies to her repertoire, and she performed in 6 Northcross theatrical productions and an additional Virginia Children's Theater community production. She plans to study art at Virginia Commonwealth University. Demi Luss, who immersed herself in the art studio and took part in theatrical productions and creative writing, both in her years at Northcross and at Miller School. She kept the sewing machine running in her classroom, and fittingly, she is majoring in fibers at the Savannah College of Art and Design. Annie Slap, who has been a devoted, talented, and enthusiastic artist. She is the epitome of what it means to be a part of a community of artists, as an active participant, faithful presence, and encourager of others. She will attend Randolph-Macon College, where she has already joined the dance team. These students have shared their varied and extraordinary talents with Northcross, and they have represented the school and the greater arts community in the Roanoke Valley. We wish them all the best in their pursuit of every future endeavor in the fine arts. Next, Ms. Jones comes back to the podium.
highlight of the senior year is the Depart Project. This year, once again, the topic seniors chose resulted in many wonderful presentations. Each year, based on faculty evaluation of the presentations, one student is selected to receive the Depart Project Award. The recipient of this year's award combined the study of published research with an analysis of data from closer to home here at North Cross School. In addressing her topic, diversity more than numbers, Diana analyzed the ethnic and racial diversity of the student body here on our campus, including both local and international students. She gave listeners insight into where we stand in the broader local picture by comparing our numbers to a local public school, offering graphs to help us visualize the percentages. Diana also analyzed the growth patterns of North Cross School through the years, comparing the school's growth with the patterns of desegregation of schools in the United States. She offered local data on median incomes of specific racial groups, noting that economic factors impact the ability of an independent school to build diverse communities. Early in her presentation, Diana made a claim that racial diversity is beneficial for all, citing a University of Illinois study in which racially mixed groups were more successful at solving murder mysteries than those of single race groups. Using her own experiences, Diana noted that one of the problems of achieving diversity and inclusivity is the inability of groups to discuss race openly. Noting both the successes and the challenges we have experienced at North Cross, she moved to a research-supported claim that anti-bias education from an early age is key to people building empathy, becoming more comfortable talking about race, and empowering them to build diverse and fair communities. We are delighted to present this year's DeHart Project Award to Diana Anderson Price. And now I'm turning this back over to Mr. Valdez.
North Cross Book Awards. North Cross Book Awards. A book is awarded to students who have maintained a place on the first honor roll through the date of the awards assembly for the current academic year. Students, when your names are called, please come up from my left and exit to my right. Please hold your applause to the end of each grade, and we'll be nice and loud for everyone. Here we go. In alphabetical order by last name, starting in the 9th grade. Harry Anderson. Fair enough. Hunter Basile. Dean Cook. Valeria Doncha. Catherine Hancock. Henry Luger. Grace Shepherd. Indira Weed. Here we go. I'll slow down next time. Sorry, Miss Lynn. In the 10th grade, Ainsley Ayers. Dami Van Kohler. Selden Burns. Attilio Sikosi. Peter Prisbinsky. Uzair Mirza. Ashi Nanda. Isabella Onifer. Connor Onifer. Jackson Parker. Jackson Patterson. Vivian Pickerel. Tanya Raza. Grayson Salaji. And Ned Tower. In the 11th grade, Kate Bishop. Colin Shandell. Chase Daniel. Flavia Daniels. Alex Hammond. Will Hoff. Natalie Jensen. Maria Krotop. Sally Terrell. Alexis Teeter. And Kyle Thompson. In the 12th grade, Phoebe Anderson. Sam Bauer. Connor Irwin. Edward Ma. Maddie Monroe. And Alice Ying. Scott Robertson, Good Citizenship Award. Sponsored by Nancy Christian Fleming, chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution, to recognize the outstanding school citizen of the senior class, nominated by the faculty and selected by the senior class. This award is selected by the senior class from among a pool of nominees chosen by the faculty and goes to the senior who has been the best citizen of the school. The winner's name is inscribed on a permanent plaque in Willis Hall. This award goes to an upstanding citizen that is recognized by classmates, coaches, teachers, and teammates for his or her outgoing, friendly demeanor, citizenship, and genuine care and consideration for all those he or she knows or simply encounters. The award recipient, as voted upon by the senior class, is Campbell Neal. Campbell, you make this community better with a dedication second to none to all things North Cross School. You lead by example, both on the field as a multi-sport athlete and in the halls of the upper school. Your time here was not wasted. The Scott Robertson Good Citizen Award goes to Campbell. Leo, congratulations. Now this goes one more time.
The Excellence in Writing Award is presented to a junior who excels as a writer, is a dedicated learner, and as such, is an academic leader in class and in the school community. This year, the English department has chosen as the recipient a student who has shown dedication and passion for writing throughout upper school. Each of our English teachers has taken note of her diligence in writing essays that are effective and a delight to read. Whether writing reflectively, creatively, or analytically, this student strives to embrace new strategies. She does not rest on, this is the way I have written in the past, complacency. Her written responses to analytical questions on selected text indicate a careful reading, focusing on key techniques that students are asked to evaluate. This thoroughness of preparation also becomes clear in her responses during class discussions, aiding other students to see the passages in a clearer light. And all of this contributes to her creation of increasingly sophisticated essays of her own. When challenged with a new type of assignment, she does not despair if her first effort is not as successful as she had hoped. She takes into account suggested strategies for improvement and applies them to the next assignment. Her passion for the written word, both what she reads and what she writes, leads to her success. The English department proudly presents the Excellence in Writing Award to Katie Lawrence. Now, Ms. Landry and Dr. Foss will present the ceremony.
This award has the distinction of being the hardest one to spell. The Rensselaer Medal is given to the outstanding math and science student in the junior class. The recipient of this year's award has a very, very bright future in the sciences and is off to a great start here at North Cross as probably one of the best mathematicians and scientists in the school, and I'm taking into account that some of us around here have advanced degrees in these subjects. She's also probably, almost certainly, the only person you'll ever find who could rip off a blistering trumpet solo while also giving you a Fourier transformation of the sound waves as they're coming out of the horn. That's not easy to do. So,
The math and science departments are pleased to present the Rensselaer Award to Colin Shepherd.
The William and Mary Leadership Award is presented to the one student who best exemplifies the spirit of North Cross School. Award recipients are selected because of their demonstration of the following: inspirational leadership, outstanding scholarship, and unwavering loyalty to the upper school and community. Graduates of the college include the author of the Declaration of Independence, 3 U.S. presidents, the man who shaped the federal judicial system, the youngest Super Bowl winning head coach in NFL history, one of America's foremost political satirists, and many, many more. William and Mary has set the tone for both leadership and higher education since its founding in 1693. In addition to receiving this certificate in commendation, William and Mary honors all award recipients, one from each high school, with a copy of A Passion for Leadership, Written by William and Mary alumnus and current Chancellor Robert Gates, class of 1965. Authored by one of our country's most prominent leaders, this book will enable the award recipient to gain additional insight into how to serve as a change agent in their community, as well as reflect on their own leadership practices. We hope that this award will represent the recipient's dedication to the North Cross school community. This is one of our highest awards. Sally Terrell is a leader. She's an academic powerhouse, a scholar, serves on the honor council, and always pursues excellence in everything she does. For these reasons, she has garnered the respect of her peers and of the faculty and staff. She also is a leader. In all seriousness, I can't think of a young person who better exemplifies the spirit of this award. This year's William & Mary Leadership Award winner, Sally Terrell. The other of our top 2 awards for juniors, the Jefferson Award, is presented to the junior who the Willis faculty believe best exemplifies the Jeffersonian ideals of scholarship, leadership, and citizenship. Although he is relatively quiet, he is a leader. He is consistent, dependable, I've used that word twice, and always seems to be in the right place at the right time. This young man has a true understanding in all academic arenas while maintaining an incredibly high level of humility. He's a leader, a scholar, and an amazing citizen in our community. This year's Jefferson Award winner, Colin Shandell. The Willis Hall Directors Award. This award is dedicated by the director of the upper school. It is meant to be a place to honor a student whose contribution to the life of the school may not be recognized in our other awards or in other places. It signifies that scholarship, leadership, and citizenship are displayed frequently, although not necessarily recognized. It signifies that an individual in our community makes an attempt to make themselves as well as the school a better place. It signifies participation in the life of the school in addition to the academic demands. These individuals are at the heart of every great school, team, and community. This year's award recipient exemplifies these ideals. I would like to announce the winner, and then speak about him. The 2022 Willis Hall Directors Award goes to Turner McCoy. Turner McCoy is a man that is respected by faculty, staff, students, and parents. Turner is the kind of person that contributes to a group or a team by his presence alone. He's neither leader nor follower, but a steady contributor. He is that individual that steps into every baseball game since 8th grade as a starting catcher, ready to be an anchor. As a senior, he most recently captained our very own conference championship team. The team's success, according to Coach, is in large part a result of Turner's consistent contributions. Coach Lawrence is quoted as saying, quote, "Turner's work ethic was integral in creating a tough as nails team chemistry. In addition, his determination and drive has earned him the admiration and respect of his teammates. You can literally feel this as you watch Turner come up to the plate to make a game-changing hit, or as he blocks balls behind the plate. He is a friend and a motivator to his teammates and expects the best from each of them by giving nothing less than his best." End quote. Pretty darn good quote. In addition, and although quiet by nature, when he started his senior year, he wrote, researched, and presented a wonderful DeHart speech on the controversy related to Pete Rose in the Baseball Hall of Fame. It was wonderful, and the entire auditorium was locked into every word he spoke. Well done, sir. Well done. Academically is no different. Turner finishes his academic career at North Cross School with 6 AP classes and will be carrying his talents to Virginia Tech this fall. Finally, Turner, most importantly, is a good friend, a good citizen, and a good steward for the ideals of North Cross School. I'm pleased to present the 2022 Willis Hall Directors Award to Turner McCall. First of all, I want to invite Dr. Proctor back to the podium. But if you have one of these, if you take it out and look at it quickly, towards the bottom, you'll see the Proctor Award. The Proctor Award, awarded to the student ranked #1 in the junior class over 3 years. I'd just like to point that out and embarrass him just a little bit before it comes up to the podium. You're welcome, sir. Come on up, Dr. Proctor. The podium is yours, sir.
One thing about that is you're not supposed to do that until the year after the person leaves, so it's a little embarrassing, but thank you for that, and I appreciate the board weighing in on that as well. It's a very simple award. It's a quantitative award. It's basically, we look at the junior class, we figure out who the top ranked student is from a grade point average, and this year the Headmaster's Award, or the Proctor Award winner is Colin Shandell. Our next 2 awards are also very simple. They're quantitative, it's mathematical. It's the announcement of the top ranked student in our graduating class, as well as our second ranked graduate. The salutatorian award is, and they will get this award at graduation on Saturday, and they will also have some nice things said about them. So we're not going to spoil the surprise for the greater community. But the salutatorian award is awarded to student rank #2 in the senior class over 4 years. And this year's salutatorian is Connor Irwin. Okay, just want to see you. I want to see your face one more time. I didn't know who you were. Nice knowing you. And the valedictorian is awarded to student rank #1 in the senior class over 4 years. And this year our valedictorian will be Sam Bauer. Has to work for her awards, so she'll be giving a speech on Saturday morning as well, and I invite you all to come hear what she has to say. About 20 years ago, there were a group of faculty members. Here at North Cross, Gates DeHart, Margaret Grayson, some folks, some of you may remember. They got together and they decided they were going to create a chapter of the Cum Laude Society. And this is generally our highest award that we give to our graduates. And they came up with a number of criteria for nomination and selection. The criteria include the nominee must have been on first or second honor roll for each trimester beginning from the second trimester of their freshman year. So they grant you that first trimester hiccup. A nominee must carry the strongest, most challenging academic load available to him or her in each of those years. A nominee's academic performance must be as strong or stronger in the junior or senior years as in those preceding. An nominee must demonstrate in all classes a high degree of justice, honor, character, and integrity, possess an abiding and demonstrated love of learning and ideas, demonstrate classroom leadership, camaraderie and fellowship, and evince an understanding that the pursuit of grades alone is by its very nature limiting and constraining. So every year since then, we induct members into the Cum Laude Society. The number is limited to a certain percentage of the graduating class, and so you can generally tell the strength of a graduating class by the number of eligible students versus the number of students you're able to let in. It was very fortunate that this year we had a large number of students are eligible, and we have a maximum number that we're allowed to initiate into Cum Laude. So I'm going to ask the students, as I say their name, one at a time, to come forward and let me embarrass them up on stage. And let's just start in alphabetical order. Phoebe Anderson. So Phoebe joined the North Cross school community in the 10th grade. Her 10th grade teacher wrote in a comment that her participation in class, her cultural fluency, her zeal to learn, and her willingness to be corrected are all characteristics Phoebe possesses that I wish would spread around our campus. A year later, her 11th grade teacher wrote, Phoebe is a very mature, wise, and pleasant presence in the classroom. She's almost always the first to answer questions in class. Phoebe loves to learn, evidenced by her strong academic record, and this has allowed her to flourish and become all things North Cross. She will be missed dearly. She finishes her academic career as a fine arts scholar and with 8 AP courses while earning AP scholar designation. We wish Phoebe all the best as she takes her many talents to Davidson next year. Good luck. We'll just kind of change things up so you don't know who's if you've been missed or not. Let's see, Katie Coleman, come on down. So Katie joined us in the 9th grade. From day one, she's been committed to growing academically. For example, this comment is from one of her 9th grade teachers. She's very shy, and I knew she usually has the correct answer and deep insight into the material. I would like to see her grow in confidence. That very same teacher taught her this year, and he wrote in a recent comment, Katie was a fantastic student all year long. Her level of participation in class was outstanding, and she was an exceptionally diligent student. How about that for growth? Needless to say, from the first day Katie arrived on campus until now, she has remained committed to continued growth in the pursuit of knowledge, which is the essence of the Cum Laude Society. Katie finishes her academic career with 10 AP courses while earning AP Scholar with honor. We wish her all the best as she takes her many talents to the College of William and Mary in the fall. Katie Coleman. Amaria Ford, come on down. In Amaria's application to kindergarten dated January 2009, reading, drawing, playing, and dance are all listed under attributes and extracurricular activities. A year later, her list of attributes grew to include handwriting, showing consideration to classmates, being able to maintain self-space, and following class rules. You are outstanding in all of those as a kindergartner. So. Her 3rd grade teacher wrote, Amaria continues to work with determination. Her cheerful manner impacts all of her daily endeavors. She is very responsible with all facets of her school life. Fast forward to her 9th grade year, didn't you get an award like in 5th grade for being like the coolest student? And me, Martin, did you? Do I remember that correctly? Where's me? Did she? Did you nominate her for an award and read something about it, or was it vice versa? You nominated her. Yes. You missed that. There's a big award in 5th grade. I remember that. But we're gonna fast forward to 9th grade just in case. One teacher wrote, she provides thoughtful and well-measured responses to our class discussions. And another wrote, she always has a good attitude and I enjoy her sense of humor. Amaria's storied career through the lower, middle, and upper schools is coming to an end. And M rooted in measurable successes along the way and capped off with an amazing DeHart senior speech presentation. One faculty member commented saying, you aptly pointed out how race is a social construct and gave a broad array of historical and contemporary examples of racism. Amaria's contributions to this community are undeniable, and she's made North Cross School a better place. Amaria finishes her academic career with 6 APs and a noted AP scholar. We'll miss her dearly as she moves on to VCU in the fall. Amaria Ford. Connor Irwin, come on down. Connor joined North Cross School in the 6th grade and immediately made an impact. One middle school faculty member wrote, Connor has exhibited excellent organizational skills and an appetite for extra information that is above and beyond the norm for his class. What remains impressive with Connor has been his ability to keep his sense of humor during his high school years. One teacher literally wrote, he continues to be so much fun to teach in my classroom. No. I'll leave you with one final quote to give you more insight into Connor. Connor has a unique way of approaching problems. He often tries the problem in an unconventional way just to see if it works. I encourage Connor to continue to explore this creative side of problem solving. Connor's unique, refreshing, and fun way he pursues his academics couples flawlessly with the Cum Laude Society. Connor finished his academic career with 11 AP courses while earning AP Scholar with distinction, all the while earning 2 distinctions, 1 in STEM and 1 in Global Studies. We wish Connor all the best as he takes his talents to the University of Virginia in the fall. Wagwa. Isabel Blackshaw, come on down. One of the famed Blackshaw sisters, Isabel. Isabel came to us in the 5th grade. In her 5th grade year, one of her teachers wrote, Isabel is a sweet soul. I will miss needling her about how amazing her handwriting is, or seeing her write her name in chalk on the sidewalk this spring. One of her 8th grade teachers wrote, she has consistently exhibited pride and effort in her work that is not common for many students of her age. Her transition to the upper school saw no change in her academic performance. One teacher commented, Isabel's growth this year has been profound. Her commitment to her academics remained consistent throughout her time at North Cross. We congratulate Isabel as she finishes her academic career with 10 AP courses. We are confident she'll be extraordinarily successful next year as she matriculates to Elon University next year. Maddie Monroe, come on down. So Maddie's first visit to campus was during 6th grade. We actually have records of that visit, and, but she didn't officially enroll until the fall of her 9th grade year. In her application, she wrote, "I put a lot of effort and hard work into my studies and projects as well as dance and piano." Throughout her 4 years, this remained consistent. For example, her senior to heart project was riveting. She looked at specifics related to the prominence of the opioid epidemic in Appalachia. It was well researched and led to her premise that lack of education, high unemployment rates, more prescriptions, and high poverty were directly responsible. I'll leave you with this quote from one of her history teachers. "The work is superbly well done and always on time. I never have to worry about Maddie coming to class prepared because she always is." Maddie ends her North Cross career with 10 APs and earning AP Scholar distinction that can be credited to all of the hard work she put in over the past 4 years. We wish you all the best as you matriculate to the University of Virginia next fall. Maddie, Sam Bauer, come on. Sam joined our community in the 9th grade. On our application, one of the questions asks for, "What are your greatest strengths?" Sam replied, "With my greatest strength is not requiring someone to always check my every move. I'm very self-sufficient." On the same application, she mentions that sometimes I have a short temper and can be impatient. I assure you that at no point did we see her tempers flare. And I can attest that to this day, Sam remains incredibly self-sufficient. One teacher commented, "She is actively engaged, participates, leads discussions, and she's always diligent in submitting her work on time. Whether it's prepping for her capstone project by making her brother's go-kart go faster or studying for the next AP exam, Sam's academic career has always experienced success through her hard work and dedication to her studies." Sam finishes her academic career as a STEM scholar with 10 AP courses while earning AP Scholar with distinction. We are confident she'll be very successful at Virginia Tech next year. Sam Bauer. Alice Ying. Alice has always displayed a natural curiosity for learning. This attribute, coupled with an infectious smile, allowed Alice to thrive in our community since the 8th grade. To know Alice is to know that music, especially the piano, is a big part of her life. In her initial application to North Cross, she mentions music or piano in some capacity at least 4 times. This love of music has remained an integral part of her life throughout her high school years. For example, she wrote a song for her AP World History class with the teacher directly commenting that we all really enjoyed her song about Chinese history and the video she made to accompany the song as well. She is very musically talented. With all said, however, she's more than just a musical talent. She's an academic powerhouse. She finishes her North Cross school career with 10 APs and is noted as an AP Scholar with distinction. She'll be missed dearly as she matriculates to Davidson College in the fall. Alice Ying. Note to self, make sure that you put page numbers on your pages. Edward Mock, come on down. Edward also came to us in 8th grade. In Edward's admission application, he wrote when asked about his favorite teacher, that his favorite teacher is my math teacher. She's very kind to all of us, but she will be strict to naughty students. She makes math interesting. I've always been intrigued how naturally Edward immediately became part of this community, which I credit to him to not being a naughty student. In fact, one of his math teachers in the upper school wrote, Edward's performance throughout the term was perfect. Yes, a teacher wrote that Edward was perfect. In addition to his academic success, Edward remains a good friend of classmates and respectful of all in this community. I'll leave you with this quote from his English teacher this year. Edward was a consistent presence of unflappable responsibility. Next year, as he moves on to UVA, he will surely be missed. Edward finishes his academic career with 10 AP courses while earning AP Scholar with distinction and earning a STEM distinction. Congratulations to Edward Mock. So that, believe it or not, emptied the table except for a few that weren't here. It was a heavily laden table, which we've now distributed a lot of good summer reading for you. I'm telling you, that's a heck of a book I gave you, so enjoy it. It's hard at this point in the year to not think about a little history, and it's even harder when I know this will be my last upper school academic awards. You know, it's kind of cool. We give an award out as the 4th awards to come across the stage, and we had at least 3 Chandels. You know, Connor's little brother was, telling me he was better than Connor from the day I met him. It's been a couple terribles. I mean, it's kind of neat when you get to know families over the course of a number of years, and to watch families have kids do extraordinarily well here. I couldn't be happier and more pleased. You know, it was 11 years ago when Dr. Finney and I strolled. Was Scott Laude in our class too? It was the year after. He's the year after, right? Yeah, you didn't quite make it. But Dr. Finney and I rolled in here, and Dr. Finney was replacing a legendary Latin teacher here at North Cross, and Barney probably remembers. So Margaret Grace, right? And so she had big shoes to fill, and I was coming in with some big buckets to fill, it was a different school back then, not just in terms of the physical plant, but just so you know, that it was a couple years before I got here, we started giving out AP Scholars with distinction. We gave out 4 in an entire graduating class. And at some point about 10 years later, we gave out 40 for 1,000% increase in the number of AP Scholars we had in the graduating class. And we stopped really counting because we were always right around that mark. So that has to do with the quality of students, the hard work of the students. It has to do with the fact we have a faculty that stays remarkably focused on the experience you guys have as students. And again, as much as I ask people to congratulate the award winners when we leave, I also hope that you, the award winners, will congratulate and thank your teachers for all the hard work that they put in to make you as successful as you possibly can. And I hope you'll take what you've learned here and you'll go out to Davidson or UVA or William and Mary or Eckerd or VCU, you know, whatever school that is fortunate enough to get you. I hope you'll take what you learned here and you make us proud. And I'm pretty sure I know the answer to that. You will. So thank you guys so much for all your work and great year. Parents, thank you so much. You guys.
Congratulations, Tyler. Congratulations.